So earlier today, Axios has reported that the Trump Foundation has now agreed to dissolve in an agreement with a lawsuit from the New York Attorney General, Barbara Underwood. Now, this is after allegations had surfaced that the so-called charity was actually being used for nothing more than President Trump's personal and political gain. Wow, great. Now, the dissolution of the foundation now comes after the Washington Post reported that its funds were actually being used not to help people as it's supposed to be a charity, right? But it's actually been used to pay off legal settlements for Trump's private businesses. And not only that, but it also included purchasing art from one of his clubs, as well as making illegal political donations. Now, Underwood said in her ruling that the investigation had found a, quote, shocking pattern of illegality involving the Trump Foundation. Oh, shocking, I know, right? No, that's not shocking to anybody who's been paying attention. But again, they got to say, oh, shocking levels of illegality. Great. Now, one of the things they found along with that is unlawful coordination with the Trump presidential campaign, as well as repeated and willful self-dealing, and much more. Underwood wrote in the initial suit, the foundation was little more than a checkbook for payments to not-for-profits from Mr. Trump or the Trump Organization. But obviously, it got worse. The Post reporting showed that for years, Trump appeared to use the foundation, which was by law independent, to make payments that went to his own specific interests. For example, the largest donation in the foundation's history, a total of $264,231 gift to the Central Park Conservancy back in 1989. So they really went back and they did their homework. And they found, oh man, even stretching back to the late 80s, here you have Trump using this foundation to benefit himself. Now that supposed gift, right, went to restore a fountain in New York City. That fountain was right outside Trump's Plaza Hotel. Oh no, not corruption, not self-dealing at all. Oh no, this is a charitable gift to the city of New York. It just so happened to be right in front of my hotel. Come on, man. Jeez. Now, it gets better. It gets better. There's a small donation, a $7 foundation gift to the Boy Scouts that happened that same year. Now, look, they gave $7 to the Boy Scouts? That's weird. That's a weird donation. But even that $7, turns out, benefited the Trump family. Why? Well, it matched the amount required to enroll a boy in the Scouts that year. Well, guess what? Don Jr. had enrolled in the Scouts that year. That was the $7 cost. Jesus Christ, Donald Trump is so goddamn cheap that he used money from his foundation, his charity, to pay himself back for enrolling Don Jr. into the Boy Scouts. I've never seen this level of cheap, this level of petty. Wow. Yeah, I know. 2 years into it, and I'm starting to get surprised at the level of his depravity. Crazy. But anyway. Now, that's not the only time his kids turned up in this as well. The Attorney General's investigation also found evidence that Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Ivanka Trump, all listed as officers of the charity, had never actually held a board meeting. Well, now that's interesting. Now, this charity's been around for quite some time, even to the point of where Don Jr. was 11 years old. Well, but then they grew up and they became members of the board, right? Well, it turns out those members have never even met. And not only that, the treasurer himself didn't even know he was treasurer. I'm going to get to that too. The board actually hadn't met since 1999. And the charity's official treasurer, Trump Organization executive Alan Weisselberg, told investigators that he wasn't even aware that he was on the board. What? No, I'm the board of the Trump Foundation. What are you talking about? Well, I didn't know that. I know, like, I imagine, like, realizing later on or having investigators tell you, you realize you're on the board of this foundation. What? What? No! How could... Really? How did that happen? Weird. Either he knows it and he's bullshitting, or he actually... Or this entire foundation is so dysfunctional and so set up in a way that just benefits Donald Trump and not anybody else in such a haphazard, ham-fisted way that people actually didn't know. Oh, I forgot to tell Mr. Weisselberg that he was on the board. Oops. Well, it's not like we ever meet. It's not like we ever actually do charity. No. We just take that money from donors and we put it in our own pockets. Sometimes I buy jerseys. Sometimes I buy paintings of myself. Sometimes I enroll my son in the Boy Scouts and then pay myself back for it. Or sometimes I pay off my legal fees or people, I mean, you know, whose stories or allegations against me I want to bury. You know, normal stuff that you do with a charity. What? No, see, I think he understands or misunderstands what a charity is supposed to do. See, people give you money in that charity so that you can give it out to other people who need it. Not people give you money and put money into your charity so that you can give yourself money. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, right? Look, the only one benefiting from the Trump Foundation, obviously, is Trump and his family. So what they did is they suckered rich people, and sometimes not rich people, into giving money to him, and then he just put it in his pocket. Everything is a scam when it comes to Donald Trump. Because, and I realize this, right? And maybe I'm a little late to the party, and I'm pretty sure I've known this all along, to be honest with you. I just haven't said it. But Donald Trump is not good at business. Okay, I probably have said that before. But he's not good at business. So that, you know, what he does instead of being good at business, because again, you're not good at business if you go bankrupt 6 different times running casinos and putting your names on buildings. No, you're terrible. You're a terrible businessman. But the only way that he could actually stay rich is to start scamming people. So he only knows how to rob. He only knows how to lie. He only knows how to scam. And he only knows how to go bankrupt when his creditors come after him. I mean, look, Trump University and now the Trump Foundation. And of course, I think this whole presidency has also been a gigantic scam on the American people. So look, what you have here, and I love this, right? So New York, the attorney generals in New York are now actually starting to tear down Donald Trump's empire of lies. And I think that's a great thing. So goodbye to the Trump Foundation. Not going to miss you. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.